Alicia lifted her chin and asked if the boy had anything to say. The hero lowered his head and said that a sinful man destroys his parents. Xavier frowned. The two men bowed to the queen and said that everyone gets what they deserve. The knight clutched his sword. The redhead said that from now on she would prove her subjects' innocence. The official and the guild leader sweated and asked again. Several mages surrounded the man, and Lloyd grinned ominously. The queen held out her hand and ordered the confession spell to be performed. The man looked around in fear and asked to wait. The mages held out their hands and summoned magic circles. The hero laughed with his signature grin. Crows flew in the sky. The birds perched on the poles to which the queen's former subjects were tied. Lloyd and Xavier looked at them. The brown-haired man said that their families were innocent, so he begged for such a punishment for them. The young man smiled and muttered what a kind person he was. The knight still had that devilish grin in his eyes. The hero was just a little annoyed because they had to stop construction because of those idiots. Alicia made a hand gesture and ordered all the inhabitants of the kingdom to devote themselves to building the suspension bridge. Long live the queen. Thanks to the high-level mages who used gravity magic, they managed to reduce the weight of the blocks, so the tower was erected in an instant. The hero ordered Belle, who was holding the rope, to prepare to launch. The boy put out his hand and shouted that it was time. The snake flew forward. The inhabitants watched this spectacle. Teapotong was waiting for her on the other tower. The hamster caught Belle with the rope, which was immediately connected to the socket. The hero ordered to move to the second rope. Xavier watched from the crowd. Standing next to him, Julian muttered that his brother was so cool. The swordsman smiled and noted that the boy was also a good boy, since he tirelessly did hard work that he had never known about before. The knight recalled that as a child, Julian said that he wanted to learn the art of wielding a sword, but the weapon was so heavy that he almost hurt himself. The young man looked at his interlocutor in surprise. Xavier looked at the student's pumped-up arms and added that this would not be a problem for him now. Hippo lifted the platform out of the water, and the mages used the art of destruction to melt it. The hero